Bitcoin came out in 2009 and been in the shadow for many years. Then suddenly arrived to the attention on everybody, and a lot of attention also from technicians in creating new technology based on the same concept. Then I will say, with Ethereum and the smart contract, everything stopped. In smart contract, you can code whatever you want, and all the brains went there. And we've been stuck in new ideas for a while now. So that's why we think that the step forward, the future of blockchain, need to be taken, and that's why Blockchain Zoo is actually making these steps forward. In an analogy, if we are the automotive business, we are at the time of those cars that start with the spinner in front, right? So we need a lot of evolution, and somebody has to do it. So that's us.
I would say there's a set of problems that blockchain has come up against that really stand in the way of it being continued to be used by large businesses and new use cases, and they're not easy problems to solve. And so there are lots of different approaches and technologies. Some of the innovation is stalled, some people trying interesting things, but everybody is really trying to figure out how to handle the scalability problem, how to actually make it work with IoT, lots of different things. And so we propose to take incremental steps forward, trying out new things, trying to build a technology which can actually eventually encompass the solutions to all of these problems. First, we have a first step that's pretty much like a conventional blockchain that solves a handful of them. And with success there, we anticipate to actually do another step that solves more problems going into the future, until we have a technology which we think will really be accessible for all the use cases that are needed.
We have a very precise vision going forward, and we are aiming to do steps that are not too longer than our leg, let's say. And that's why we want to bring in a blockchain that solves a few of those problems and make it a functional, online, public, open source project, and then from there move towards more problem solution. The decision to create a novel blockchain is not an easy one, because in selling project it's always best to use a blockchain that has a history of success, of safety, of not being broken into. But this is exactly what stops the evolution. So we really need to bring the technology to the future to make those steps that are necessary to have blockchain being largely adopted. So remove those limitations that today makes it not possible. This being scalability, this being ease of access, this being having a light possibility to run a light node like in a cell phone, in a small device, to have limited quantity of data that need to be stored by each node. This is what we aim to do. We have a very clear vision, a nice design, and 5 steps to reach a full evolved solution. But we start with one. We start with creating a blockchain that does what every other blockchain does, but in a much more safe, easy to access, a fast, secure way, we want to say. Like an analogy, in the automotive business, we're just building another car. They're going to bring you to school, to work, but in a more fuel efficient way, in a safer way, and that lasts longer.
As Roberto has said, we envision many steps towards approaching the actual long-term technology. But we have a couple of things that we'd like to focus on that are not so ambitious, but there are a couple of problems that we think other people who've tried to make innovations in blockchain have stepped past a little bit or not considered fully. For example, we want to try to focus on the blockchain download time. We perceive this to be a large problem that people have. Say if you wanted to set up a Bitcoin node, it'll take you a couple of weeks to download the blockchain before you can begin participating. So we'd like to have a secure solution that you can use to actually start up a node faster. Another that we'd like to tackle is the distribution of rewards for participation on the blockchain. For example, in a Bitcoin or Ethereum or even a big proof of stake coin, you wind up in the situation where a couple of people who own all the stake or own all the hardware power collect all the rewards for running the blockchain, even if many, many people run nodes. We like to more evenly distribute those participation rewards to actually encourage more people in the community to run nodes. And we would like to make a technology that's a flexible foundation for other businesses, other people who have specific use cases that they'd like to build a blockchain for, so that they can very easily figure out exactly how to customize the technology to serve their particular business needs, and they have a tool that they can use to make the right blockchain for them in the right situation. So those are some of the guiding principles that we're looking at in terms of how to move our current blockchain technology that we're trying to implement beyond what exists right now.